Allison Swinton, CEO.
Present.
Madeline Padronani, CFO.
Present.
Can I have a motion to excuse the absentee?
Good motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Our public forum, we have Rebecca Loisel. We just ask you to stand up, speak loudly because the meeting is being recorded.
I can speak loudly. So, my name is Rebecca Loisel. I live at 2 Lafayette Park. I've been a resident here for just under 17 years. And I apologize if I'm a little late to the party with some of my questioning, but I've been trying to find some answers and I'm unable to. So I figured instead of being an addition to your problem and complaining, I'm just going to come and ask my questions and get my information the right way.
From your lips to God's ears.
Okay.
I wish everybody would do that.
So I'm just asking, obviously, for some transparency so I can be educated and set reasonable expectations on my end. I work from home, so obviously power is important to all of us, right? But I just want to prepare and going forward and understand where we are now so I can level set. Do I buy a generator? Do I not? Where are we? So let me just start with the baseline. Has there been analysis of our equipment? Is there a problem, or are we just facing normal power outages due to weather, due to accidents? Could you share some of that?
Well, I'm gonna let the people who really know what's going on speak to you.
Okay.
Our substation needs to be upgraded. At last month's meeting, we approved a contract with an engineer who's studying everything. They're going to get back to us about redoing the entire substation and getting a redundant feed to come in so that when it does go out, it might be out for an hour while we switch over to the other line.
Okay, and that's great. So is there an ETA when we can expect this report? Because I'm assuming that's going to lead us into the roadmap of figuring out scheduled power outages, what really needs to be done. And with that, I guess I'll add, do we have the money to pay for this analysis and actually take it forward into a roadmap and triage for remedy?
We have the money for the analysis. We do not have the money for the upgrades that are necessary. We're going to have a rate increase.
Okay, a rate increase. And is there anything else on the side that we can do or residents can do to help? And again, I'm sorry if I'm sounding ignorant because I'm not familiar, I'm not the subject matter expert here, so I'm asking you guys, but are there other avenues in obtaining resources for this funding?
We have to borrow the money.
Okay, okay,
Yep, we have to bond.
okay.
It's going to be millions.
Okay. And I guess, well, with that being said, we're kind of at the early stages then. We know that there's problems, however, the analysis has to be done in order for us to come up with the game plan. And can you just keep us apprised, maybe with a summary in our monthly meetings, or I'm sorry, in the monthly newsletter of where we are? I'd love to continue to attend if you're going to share information on this, just so I can be apprised of where we are.
You're always welcome to come.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do talk about it at every meeting. I don't know if there's room
Yeah.
in the newsletter. It depends on what's happening.
The thing is, when we have an outage, it isn't always the same thing. It's
Right.
not something that's one thing that goes wrong all the time. It's usually lines coming in, our feeder line. It
The
happens a lot
transmission
on that. It actually happens a lot on National Grid's lines because they feed us.
Mm-hmm.
So if something happens on their lines, we're out. There's nothing wrong with our equipment here, we just can't get the power here. So those are the things that they've really been checking into, and we're gonna get a new feeder line come in. We're gonna have a redundant line come in, as Kristen said, so that if the power goes out on one end, you can shut it down and refeed from the other end, if I'm explaining that properly. So if you do have an outage, it should be short.
Mm-hmm. And again, we can prepare for long-term outages if that's what's needed, right? We just want the transparency, because I think what's happening too is, what I've experienced anyway, is I never got the clear answer of where's the problem line. I understand it's probably multiple places, but from my perspective, it's like, oh, National Grid saying it's us, we're saying it's National Grid, and we never understand the full situation of what happened, right, and where we exactly are with this. So I think just the transparency alone, for me anyway, will stop my complaining and my gripe and allow myself to be more informed. So thank you.
Yeah, and you can call anytime and get answers on anything. They're more than willing, to tell things. It can be, sometimes an outage can be caused by a squirrel chewing through a line.
Right.
I mean, seriously, and people don't realize that. As bad as it is for us, it's worse for the squirrel.
And I'm never expecting, just so you know, I'm never expecting when there is an outage. Like, I'm not going to call you guys have enough to do, right? People need to get out there and work and solve it. You don't need to hear from Rebecca Loisel complaining and wanting to know the time frame. Obviously, and I felt like you are sharing that based on when you do know, another 4 hours, and we just don't know, like, that's fine. I think maybe communicating afterwards, what happened, right? Hey, guys, this is what happened, this is how we solved it. And I think it puts residents' minds at ease that there isn't this back and forth of not me, not it, it's them, and that there is a plan going forward, because I think if we shared that, there wouldn't be all of this noise, just,
Right.
something.
And we
some
do
feedback.
that at our meetings.
Okay, just
So,
in the
yeah.
in the meetings, okay.
Yes,
Is
or if
there
anybody
any-
calls in the meantime, we always talk to anybody who calls and asks questions.
Would there be any consideration when these things do occur, just in the following newsletter, just to put a little snippet of the update?
Yes.
Even just a little summary right now, like, I know that these meetings are important, this is where you guys have all of these discussions, and unfortunately, it's a pretty low audience here. So, but there's a lot of audience that's griping, right? So is there a way that we could just maybe do a little summary of, hey, here's at a high level where we are. Expect that we know that there's going to be power outages, right? We can't tell you how long, we don't have that sight line on that, but at least now we're communicating, yes, there's problems, we're hiring someone to come in, we're gonna level set, we're gonna do the analysis. This is what it's going to take, be prepared for this, right? If we already know there's going to be an increase, let's get that out maybe in writing now, prepare these people to make the accommodations accordingly.
And the things that people need to know, the last increase we had was in 2012,
2011.
2011. So that's pretty good to go that many years without an increase.
Right.
And the thing that a lot of people don't understand is we're basically a not-for-profit. We don't make any profit. We don't have some CEO that's making $1 million a year or anything else. We are a nonprofit. So
Right.
we try not to go back because we have to get approval every time we raise our rates. So we try not to go back unless we have a really good reason. And we have a really good reason now. And it is going to mean the rates are up. Maybe you can just explain a little bit about how everybody's bill is kind of doubled with it. True, it isn't us.
More than doubled. On your bill, you see two different rates. The top rate is the base rate. That's what we have to go and have increased. We have to go to the New York Power Authority to increase that. Before it was the PSC who regulated us, so they would approve those increases. We don't set those rates at all. They look at our finances, look at what we need, and they set the rate. Most municipalities go in every 2 years for a rate increase, so it's been a very long time since we've done that. The next line that you see is the PPAC. That is the direct cost of power that we purchase for everyone else. There's nothing in that line other than the power that we buy and the transmission lines that we have to rent from National Grid to get the power here. So there's two different rates. No one has control over that second, the PPAC. That's the market rate. So that changes every day. Now it's about triple what it was, and we can do nothing about that line at all.
Right. Understood. So when this analysis is done, and you're already identifying it's going to be millions, right? The work that needs to be done here. Was there also consideration of not having GIPA any more than that we should completely source with Niagara Mohawk?
You wouldn't be happy.
Okay.
Your bills would really go up.
Well, I'm asking because I don't know, right? I have zero
Right.
insight to what does that mean, so I figured I would ask the question, what would that mean for us? Because people are going to ask these questions, so I just figured let's get it out and know the answers, and then I will never ask the question again. Or if people say, do we have GIPA? I can say, well, this is what I've learned,
On average, their rate is about 40% more than ours.
Okay.
And I don't think they want to serve here. They serve some industrial customers, but their tariff does not allow them to serve residential here. So there's a lot of regulatory things that we have to change, and they're not interested in it.
Okay.
And just tell her about the guy who talked about moving. He was going to sell his house and move to his camp, and what he said to you.
And he pays National Grid rates at his camp, and he's considering moving there and building a home there. And the utilities were one of the biggest things that he's considering.
He's planning on moving out of Green Island because of the utilities here were expensive?
No, the other way.
He's planning on moving where his camp is and building a house. But the utilities there under National Grid would be so much more than they are here. So he doesn't know if he can handle that expense.
He doesn't know if he wants to sell his house now. He doesn't know if he
I understand. Okay.
Simply because the electric rates are so much less here.
Right, and I'm not, obviously nobody wants a rate increase, right? But if that's what has to happen in order to get us up to par with where we should be. That's just the facts of it, and I just think it just needs to be clearly communicated of, here's the facts of the matter. You know, this is where we are, and if we could just get a little, in my recommendation, you don't have to do it, I'm just saying it might quiet some of the noise if in the newsletter, just a little summary of where we are and what to expect. And listen, if you want your voice heard or you want to understand more about this, you know, get involved, otherwise this is the reality of it.
We have no problem doing that, but I'll be perfectly candid with you. The people who are complaining don't read the newsletter.
Gotcha.
I don't know of any community around that gives as much information to the residents as we do. Nobody. And really the ones that complain all the time and say they're gonna go to a meeting, never show up at a meeting.
Yeah.
They don't. You know,
Or
we
make
plan,
phone call.
you know, when they all get on there, I don't have Facebook, so I don't read it. But we plan that we're gonna have a big crowd, and I swear you're the first person who showed up, and I can't tell you how long.
Okay.
So, and we're more than happy to listen to people and explain things to them, but some people just wanna complain. They don't wanna understand.
Understood, and it might even cause you more noise, you know, for those who do read it in a panic of rates going up and things like that. It's just, I'll take this forward with myself personally to make my decisions, and I'll continue to come and learn more as we go and see how it affects myself, and we can go from there.
Hey, you never know if there's an opening on the board, you might wanna take it.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate
But you better
it.
have a thick hide if you're going to.
I think I do, but thank you very much.
I wanted to add too, when we have the planned outages, that's because we are doing upgrades.
Right.
The last outages that happened, we could have a brand new substation and all new equipment. Those outages are still gonna happen. Those were lines that came down with wind.
Agreed.
You're never gonna stop that.
And I think that's just what I'm trying to understand the difference. Like, where was it that, you know, it's a normal power outage that you can't predict versus, are we gonna get back to those scheduled outages? I know we had them previously, so I was anticipating if we knew that we had problems, should I expect those more? I thought you were actually gonna say we already had some analysis done, and I was gonna continue with saying, okay, what's the roadmap look like? Is there already a plan? Could we have 30 days notice of these scheduled outages to plan accordingly?
Oh, you'll have plenty of notice for scheduled outages.
Okay.
That's never been an issue.
Okay.
The upgrades are gonna take a very long time to do. Just to get a transformer is about 1.5 years out.
So that's good that
ordering
you
it.
just mentioned that. What are we looking at for like the ETA on just the analysis piece of that?
It shouldn't be much longer.
Yeah.
Should it? They've been working on it for a month.
Yeah.
So they have what we need to do right now. The first thing is to order that first transformer so that we can have it here in 1.5 years. We
Right.
want to do the redundant line. So once we have that in place, when you do have unplanned outages, it would just take us an hour to switch over to that other line, and then they can make the repairs where necessary, but you'd have power much quicker.
But we're looking at about 1.5 years before that happens.
Before we can even get the transformer.
Right, before anything really happens, about 1.5 years. So I guess the expectation to set for myself is plan for power outages, probably go get that generator from now until then, because we know that there's problems on top of having regular, normal outages due to weather, accidents, whatever.
Yeah, we haven't had any unplanned outages that were equipment related that we knew there was an issue. Everything has been some kind of a storm or a squirrel or things that you can't predict. So there's no way that we could let people know ahead of time that that's gonna happen.
And just so I'm clear, the power outages that we have been having that you're saying, was it because of faulty equipment, or was it because things like a squirrel or a wind or something like that? Or is it truly like, hey, we know that things are going to be breaking and we have to just prepare for that? Is that more of where we're at?
The last outage, it was a line on the side of 787 that what an insulator
Yeah.
burnt. The line broke, well, it didn't
dropped.
break, it dropped, landed on top of National Grid's line. It's a very quick repair. The problem was we needed a 100-foot bucket truck. Nobody has those. We had to get a bucket truck from Utica to come in. So it's things like that. Once they were on the ground and working on it, it took, what, about an hour or so?
Yeah, about 90 minutes.
Yeah. And then everything that could go wrong after that, when you turn the power back on, went wrong.
Got
So,
it. Okay.
yeah.
All right, then, thank you, and I appreciate that. I think I've set my expectations now accordingly. I'm gonna go get that generator.
Get the generator. Even if everything was brand new, you're still gonna want a generator if you work
Because
from home. 'Cause you
weather-related
never know
things
when
are still
anything's
gonna happen.
It's just, you know, it's an additional expense.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I'm only representing a residence right now, but,
Yeah.
you know, sidebar, there's
Yeah.
another additional expense over there too,
Yeah.
as you know what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
But I'm here representing residents only. But it is a big cost, right, to get a good one and all of that. It's not cheap, so.
I want to tell you how much we appreciate you coming and asking questions and getting the information, so you know what you're dealing with. I truly appreciate that,
Well,
and
I
I know the whole
appreciate you
board
having
does.
me. I appreciate you allowing me to take time out of your meeting, so thank you so
You're
much.
more than welcome. Okay.
Ellen, we have one addition. Right, you had already taken the sign-in sheet, Ashley Hogan.
Sorry.
Public forum.
Okay.
Hi there, how are
Hi.
you? I just want to kind of echo what she said. It's my first meeting here. I took down some notes, so thank you. You guys were very thorough in helping me learn a little bit more. But the last outage, you said that the line was on 787. Were you working alongside National Grid? Just curious. 'Cause you
National
said-
Grid was not working with us.
Oh, no, okay, but was it not a line that fed into them?
No, it was the lines, when you look at the lines.
Yep.
There's different levels of lines.
Got
Ours
it.
was the top line, fell onto National Grid's.
Oh, so it was just our line completely out, not National Grid, so they
Right.
were not helping us with that?
No.
No, okay, perfect. And then it just, I guess, what's the difference between the transformers, the substations, and the feeder lines? Do we need all of those to be replaced? I came in a little late.
I mean,
It's gonna depend on what the analysis comes in at.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when is that analysis taking place? I might have missed
It's
that.
already happening.
Oh, it's already happened?
Mhm.
Okay. And you know of the weak points in the infrastructure?
Well, we
That's
know-
what the analysis is
That's,
for.
that's what it is,
Yes.
okay. Who's working on the analysis?
It's a company called
Ramble?
Ramble.
Ramble?
Okay.
If you go onto the meeting minutes from last month on the
Yes.
website.
Yep.
We approved the contract there, so you
Okay.
just.
Yeah, I did see, and then last meeting minutes, there was the outage said that there was an emergency repair cost of about 120K, right? $80,000 was unbudgeted. So how often is that happening? I just recently moved back to the village, so I was
That's the
wondering.
first bill that we got like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's good news then, right?
Yeah.
Kind of, not really, maybe, I don't know. Okay.
We hope not to get any more.
Yeah, hopefully not. So now where's that difference gonna come from? Like, if that 80K, like how are you guys gonna?
You have to cut things in the budget.
Oh, okay, okay.
So say they were gonna do tree trimming and there was 30,000 for that, the tree trimming isn't gonna happen.
Got it. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure how that's. And then, so this last powder outage lasted because of just needing that truck from Utica?
Yes.
Okay. Who like coordinates that? Like, how, like?
Tony and Giuseppe.
Oh, okay, so you guys just kind of call to see who has one locally, and that was the quickest available?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
have
we
a-
had 3 other groups that were in here for those repairs. We had 3 other companies that had to come in
Okay,
to work on that.
because it was, you needed the truck, and then there was other issues that kind of stumbled across?
Yes, it was the transmission lines, and our guys work on the distribution lines, not the transmission lines.
Okay, so like a different company comes in to work on the, got it, okay, perfect. Sorry, I'm a teacher, I don't really know the
That's
lines
okay.
of that. So, but thank you. I think that was it, because she asked a lot of questions, and you guys answered them very thoroughly. I was just trying to figure out why are they so long, you know? And that's really it. Okay.
And the other thing, when Maggie does send out messages saying there's an estimated time, it's just estimated. We never know until they actually go and flip the switch. You never know if it's gonna work. And then there's other repairs that have to be made, so.
And I just want to say, I completely understand, and I'm not asking for that communication, like I said
Yeah.
earlier. I don't expect a phone call, or I'm not going to call anybody. I know you're going to let us know, and the important thing is you're all out there working on it. I don't need an update of how much longer, because I'm pretty sure you don't know, and if you did, you would say definitively the time. So I totally understand and appreciate that, and I just also want to say, by no way am I complaining. I know how hard our folks are working there. Obviously, we have a much larger problem, right? That now we all have to come together and kind of figure out and level set and prepare ourselves for what that really means financially.
Agreed. Most of you live and work here, correct? So like, you guys are also experiencing the outages.
Yes.
So like, I understand, but I just wanted to educate myself a little bit.
Okay? All right. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our regular meeting on February 16th. Everyone has a copy. Does anyone have any corrections?
No.
If not, could I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next on the agenda is the approval of claims. Everyone has a copy. And Kristen and Madeline would be happy to answer any questions. If there are no questions, could I have a motion to pay the bills?
Make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is submittal of the monthly report by the CFO. Everyone has a copy. Are there any questions for Madeline? Could I have a motion to accept the submittal of the monthly report?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of the monthly adjustments to the monthly billing, roll routine.
Yep, collections mostly.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
No,
If not, could I have a motion to make the adjustments?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next, under other business, we have a NIPA contract that Kristen and Madeline are going to comment on.
I gave you the talking points. I have the contract up here if anybody wants to look at it. This is the preference power that we get from the New York Power Authority. This is the cheap power. They are increasing our rates. So we have a new contract that we have to sign. This applies to anyone receiving that power in the state, so there's really no negotiating the contract. That's already been done at a higher level with the attorneys from the New York Power Authority, with our NIAP attorneys, with all of them. The New York Power Authority has approved it. It's been signed by the governor. So we really can't make any changes to it. It's if we want the power, this is what we have to do. They did negotiate it very well from what the Power Authority came in. Originally, they wanted in 4 years to increase our rate to 33 cents a megawatt, and they were able to negotiate it down to 23 cents a megawatt over 6 years, so that we don't get hit with the increase quite as hard. But that's what it is.
And we want this power because this is the cheaper power
Yes.
that we get. This was negotiated decades ago.
Yes.
And we definitely have to agree to it. Otherwise, your bills are gonna go way up if we have to get it someplace
Right.
else.
So this just came in on Friday, so Pat hasn't had a chance to review it, so just if you could do it contingent upon Pat reviewing it,
Yeah.
even though there's really nothing that we can change, just so that he looks it over.
So if I could have a motion to renew our contract with NIAP contingent upon the approval of our attorney.
New York Power Authority.
Oh, NIPA, I see.
I make the motion.
We got too many
I'll
letters.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Does the board have any questions? If not, our next meeting is Monday, April 20th at 6 p.m. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried.